hotel suite at 3 in the morning, taking her clothes off and hella weed and coughing. Ain't her first time cheaping, but say she don't do this often.
Today's relationships are kind of measured on TikTok routines and matching Jordans. But people forget the heavy shit behind the scenes that make a relationship all worth it. I'm here with a gentleman that can tell you all about the good, bad, and ugly of this complicated thing called love. Mr. Matt Capone. You can stop. When me and you went to elementary school, Morningside, that was like 6th grade, right? Like fifth grade.
Was it 6th? When did you go there? Because
Mr. Nance was my teacher.
All right, so that was 6th grade.
Okay, yeah, because all y'all all knew each other and shit. We came the last year. Because after that, Andrew Jackson.
Right, because I came 5th grade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like all y'all already had y'all click and shit.
Yeah, something like that.
So, are you originally from out Maryland, or are you from the city?
Nah, so when I was going to Morningside, I was still living in Southeast.
Okay.
I was still living in Southeast. So I grew up around Southeast. Talking about.
What was I about to say? So, I know that you used to like to draw when you were 17 years old and things like that, and then you went to Rhyme and Reason and started doing your poetry. Do you remember your first poem that you wrote that like stuck with you, that like you could recite like nothing?
So, sheesh. I used to draw, but I think it's like I used to draw because like my brother was real big on drawing.
Okay.
So it was like I guess I used to look up to him.
Yeah.
But I've been writing poetry since I was 7 years old. You feel me? So that's something I've always been passionate about. But as far as like remembering the first poem that I ever wrote, nah, because like I used to write songs too. So it's like it was always like, oh, I want to be a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And when certain things like didn't go the way that it went, or you know, certain business meetings didn't go the way that it went, or I was supposed to get signed at 16, it didn't go the way that it went. It was like, all right, you know what? I'm just falling back from it. You know what I'm saying? So DMV wasn't known for rap back then, 2006.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep writing my poetry. So I ain't really started taking my poetry serious probably until like I got an Instagram and I started like posting just me writing my poetry. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, certain things transpired where I was gone for a while, and then it's like, all right, look, I'm gonna start going out and actually start doing spoken word and perform.
Damn, that's crazy to take the music from behind it, but you still have the same message.
Yeah, facts.
That's crazy. So now you say that you had to sit down for a minute, like shit slowed down. Would you consider that like your dark moment when you got time to like evaluate what the fuck you wanted to do?
Yeah, 100%. Like, you know, like, I mean, when I was incarcerated, like, it gave me a lot of alone time. You feel what I'm saying? So it was like, look, how I'm going to turn, you know what I'm saying, my passion into, you know what I'm saying, me making a living off of it. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, like, even when I was, like, behind the walls, I used to write dudes poems to write to their girls.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying, like, I get, you know, I never really had to worry about commissary, but just to get extra, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, man, like, I write you a poem for your girl or whatever the case is.
And that's crazy. That's something. That's like crazy shit. That's something that. I mean, that's different. Like you see people drawing cards, birthday cards, and shit like that.
Yeah,
that's the most thing that you see, but you don't hear somebody writing poetry for for another person's female. Like that's tight.
Yeah.
So, damn, you answered the question. So what year was that you say that you started refocusing on just writing?
So I think I probably was around, it probably was around like 2013, where I like said, you know what, I'm gonna just take writing serious. But it was 2017 when I really started like going out and performing.
Okay. So when was the birth of trap poetry? I know that you do that on your own, like that's your brand. But I know that you do the hosting at Busboys and Poets and things like that. How did all that come about? Did they offer it to you, or did you bring this cool idea to them?
So trap poetry came about because I wanted to let people know, like, I'm not the typical poet.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I really grew up in the trenches, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm really, you know, stamped around, you know what I'm saying, where I grew up at. So it's like, that's the trap part about me, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I've really been through certain things in my life that, you know, a lot of people probably wouldn't, like, make it out of, you feel me? So that's the trap part about it.
And a poet wouldn't go through shit.
You're right, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of poets, not most poets, but I'll say a lot of poets, especially that I've met, are like eclectic.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
isolated,
Like,
introverts.
Right, you know what I'm saying? It's like me, you know, I feel like I was known amongst my peers before anybody knew I started doing poetry. So it's like, you know, the trap came from that, and the fact that I started doing poetry, I just merged it together. And the trap poetry came about because it's crazy, because somebody I was incarcerated with, they used to throw events. It was like, man, I throw events. I mean, a lot of dudes talk. You know what I'm saying? They come up with stories and stuff like that. So he's like, man, look, I do events. You come out here, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even off no poetry stuff. He was just like a promoter. Like, man, if you want to party and I see you, like, you could get in for free. And it just so happened, you know what I'm saying, the universe worked itself out. I was doing a show somewhere, and he was there. And he was like, man, look, I give you this venue if you could bring this many people out. And I was like, that's easy. You feel what I'm saying? So that's where the trap poetry came from. And it trickled down to other things like merchandise and stuff like that. But as far as busboys, I reached out to busboys because like it was like an application going on in the Southeast location.
Okay.
And it was like, man, look, I grew up in Southeast. So like that's dear to me, you know what I'm saying? And to be, you know, basically somewhere where people can identify like, oh, you know, he's like me, or he's one of us, and he came from this, and this is the type of person he is now.
Transition into this,
right?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's possible. So it's like, man, look, my heart was in Southeast, so that's where I wanted to go. So once I did the application for that, it was like I actually applied late, so I didn't really get like once a week as far as like the typical host.
Okay.
But I got like every fifth like Tuesdays, which is like 4 times a year. But once they started seeing how many people I was bringing in, it's like they just let me bring trap poetry there. And
Yeah, they had no
like,
choice.
They had no choice, so it was like, man, look, do what you want.
And then you also do On the Rocks. You were doing On the Rocks too as well.
Yeah, so I was doing On the Rocks, but you know, for certain reasons, you know, we ain't even about to get into that.
Okay.
But shout out On the Rocks, though. Shout out On the Rocks.
I know you have the poem Superman, and that's about fatherhood. What is the biggest lesson that fatherhood has taught you?
That's crazy.
Other than patience.
Patience is definitely number one. But you know, it just taught me like a lot of things that I've been through. You feel what I'm saying? It's made me big on like communication. Like that's number 2, because like a lot of times like when we grew up, it was like, I don't know about your household, but my household was a child is seen, not heard. You feel what I'm saying? And today's generation, these kids, they smart, so you can't carry them like that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like I communicate, you know what I'm saying, with my oldest son, like you know, he a grown man, but at the same time still appropriate for me, because I need him to understand certain things, and everything that his daddy do, like I don't want him to go through. So it's like it definitely taught me like communication skills like on another level.
Yeah, definitely. Though it seems like you have the formula for the perfect relationship, like you'll know knowing red flags and when to throw them.
Man.
How do you balance being, like, I'm not saying that you ever shut your brain off, but you being the type of person, like, you're evaluating people all the time. When you start to meet somebody, do you just let them be who they are and let them play themselves and look for the signs? Or do, as soon as you see the shit, you just like, nah?
Well, look, first, I'm an Aquarius, right? So we observant. We observant, you know what I'm saying? We sit back, we chill, we quiet because we try and peep everything. So, you know what I'm saying? I let people do them. And I let people know, like, I communicate very well with people. Like, look, I'm nonchalant, but don't mistake my nonchalantness for not caring or not paying attention to. You feel me? So, I mean, I'm not real big on, you know, being against people being themselves, but I'll let people know, like, look, this what I'm for, this what I stand on, and at the end of the day, it's like, what you got going on, if it don't equal to what I got going on, then it's no point in us being in the same bubble. So, like, I don't know, that's my best answer for that.
Yeah, because I'm like, because you write love poems, so it's like when people are telling you, like say if you're dealing with a female and she are telling you, oh man, I love you and I always want to be with you and things like that, are you constantly reading between the lines and picking at everything that she's saying?
Yeah, I'm picking at it, but I'm not saying it to her.
Oh, okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm not real big on judging nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I catch a vibe with you and I act accordingly based off the vibe that I got with you. So if I'm talking to a woman and she feel like she in love with me and I ain't there, I'm gonna let her know, like, look, I ain't there yet. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm real, blunt but honest at the same time, unapologetically, but I'm respectful at the same time. You feel what I'm saying? If you would have caught me like 6-7 years ago, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be real disrespectful. But now, like, if I'm dealing with somebody, if I'm talking to somebody, it's like I try my best way to articulate myself the right way so people don't get offended. But I'm gonna still tell you what it's gonna be with me.
Yeah. So you both expecting yourselves.
Yeah, facts.
What is love to you?
Sacrifice. Compromise. You feel me? Like, if you really love somebody, like, it's certain things that, you'll put to the side because you care about them. You feel what I'm saying? Or there's certain things that you will change. And, like, I think that's, a lot of that is dealing with compromise. And the sacrifice part is just, putting your pride to the side or putting the person that you are to the side, not completely, but enough to where it's, you know what, I want to make this work. You know what I'm saying? But only if you truly love somebody. If you don't, it's like, I'm not sacrificing or compromising for nothing.
Yeah, never settle.
Yeah, at all. I think most Aquariuses are lovebirds, but it's a transition, like, it's levels, you feel what I'm saying, to an Aquarius. Like, you'll never have us figured out, you feel what I'm saying? But once we get to a point where we actually care, we put into it 100%, whatever it is. So, like, we get to a point where we love birds, but in the beginning, like, we come off mean, you know what I'm saying? Look, I ain't there with you, you know what I'm saying? But, like, once you get us, you got us.
Yeah, because my brother, he's an Aquarius, and he could be mean, but he's never selfish.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a giver, and you get him right, he'll get you wrong.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
He's not a fighter, but he'll fuck you up.
No question. And that's how I usually go.
Yeah.
That's how I usually go. It's like, look, I'm not here to start nothing, but I'm definitely gonna finish it.
Yeah, if you pluck at me.
Exactly.
Shedding light is basically me asking random questions to get a feel of you, what you like and what you don't like, and just so the public can be like, let me see what's up with this nigga. Okay. So, if you had to choose between two females,
Got you.
one's rich with bad breath, or one's gorgeous with no goals?
Gorgeous with no goals. Period.
She's like, Matt, talk to me.
But this the thing. The one with bad breath, like, can she fix that, or that's just what it is?
She stink. Like, her breath just stink.
Nah.
Okay.
Gorgeous with no goals.
Okay.
Don't even worry about the goals. I got us.
She just gonna sit around.
Man, look, I got us. Take care of me, and I'm gonna take care of us.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
When was your first heartbreak? Like, the first time you was like you was devastated, cried, like the first time you knew that your heart was broken?
I was 13.
What was her
I
name?
was 13.
Case, you know that bitch now?
I know her now. It's funny because I just talked to her yesterday.
Are you serious?
I just talked to her yesterday. I ain't gonna say her name because
But you know who you are.
Nah,
She talked to you yesterday.
You know who you are. But yeah, I was 13, and we was together from the time I was 13 till I was 16. And, like, you know what I'm saying, when I was growing up, I always thought, like, love was, like, the biggest thing in the world. You feel me? Like, listening to music, Drew Hill, B2K. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was all like, oh, love. You know what I'm saying? So I never actually listened to the songs about heartbreak, being cheated on and stuff like that. Or I never understood it because I was young. So, like, once it happened to me, it was like, it was something new to me. Like, oh, this is possible. This is a thing. Like,
that shit
you know
hurt.
what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's like, when I was So basically, it happened when I was 16, but I started talking to my first when I was 13. So never cheated on her, nothing. So once that happened, it's like now that I know that this is possible, and now that I know, what I'm saying, like somebody can hurt you like this. With me, it's like I don't think like at that point I didn't heal, and it's like it was just on some get back shit with everybody.
Yeah, they say that when a man loves a woman and he get his heart broken, every woman after that, you try to destroy her because the way you would destroy it in that one moment. Yeah,
like I feel like we do it subconsciously. Like I don't think any man, and I'm gonna go on record and say this, I don't think any man intentionally tries to destroy your woman. Unless they've been talking for a while and, that's the type of dude that he is.
Yeah.
You feel me? A lot of dudes, we act off of what we used to. So if we used to getting what we want, when we want it, we gonna carry it to the next woman. Not even knowing that woman is different than the other 20 women we dealt with. So.
That is true.
Yeah, exactly.
If you could, I already know what you gonna say. That's why I said don't say this. If you could rewrite and star in any love movie other than Love Jones, what would it be?
The Wood.
The Wood?
Yeah. The Wood.
What character would you be?
I'd be Mike.
You be Mike?
I'd be Mike. I mean, like, literally, like, I'm really him, like, to an extent in real life. Like, I never been the type that, talk on my personal things. So, for the most part, unless you know me and unless you've seen the person I've been around, you're not going to know what I've done with that person. You feel me? Like, I'm always up for letting my men that's around me feel like they got one up on me when it come to women. Like, yeah, you right. I ain't doing nothing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so I definitely be Mike. Or I'd be Ro. Cause I used to be Jai like a show off, but
okay.
I'd definitely be Mike 100%.
Okay. What would you say was your worst date? Like your worst date ever when you was like, when I drop this bitch off, I swear to God.
Sheesh. I've been on so many dates, I'm not even gonna hold
But like
you.
a bad one. Like a worst, like the worst date. No bad ones?
No bad ones to the extent where I feel like
you don't stop when you get to her house, you just let it
Nah. I mean, because for real, I control the vibe.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've met a lot of women that, I'm not really I'm not really a conversationalist. But I am.
Okay.
You gonna talk to me.
Yeah, how the fuck you gonna go out? What you come for?
I'm gonna ask open-ended questions. So you gonna be able to answer the question, but at the same time, you gonna have a question behind it. And if you don't, I'm gonna have a question behind it.
Yeah, so we can get to know each other.
Exactly.
Well, what's an easier question? What's a deal breaker for you with women?
Drama. Any type of drama. Like if I feel like you don't have control of your situation, it's a deal breaker. Because whatever you got going on ain't whatever I got going on. And I'm not about to let you into my energy ball if your energy is off. You know what I'm saying? So any type of drama, I'm not with nothing.
If you were with the ideal girl and you were with her, would you rather have no sight and just be able to feel her, or no voice and be able to touch and see her?
So hold up. When you say no voice, what do you mean?
Like you can't talk. So you can never express how you feel. You can only show her. If you have no sight, you know that you have this person.
I go without sight.
Without sight?
Because I need to be able to communicate with you and you to understand what it is that I'm doing and why I'm doing it. You feel me? Because perception is everything. So I can say something in a way that you perceive it is not the way that like I'm saying it. So I'm real big on communication. Communication job like eliminates a lot of bullshit.
It really does.
You feel what I'm saying? So whether somebody understands your communication or not, whether they want to receive it or not, the fact that it's out there and it's said, that's where it is. It's up there.
Exactly.
It's up there.
Yeah, because majority of the time if we just take the time to remove ourselves from the situation, apologize, or just stop and listen to the other person, majority of the time a lot of shit could be avoided.
Facts. A lot of stuff could be avoided.
Or just being able to be like, I'm wrong, I fucked up. A lot of people aren't listening when they argue. They just listen, they listening for
They listen to respond, not listen to understand.
Yeah, exactly. You
Facts.
said it exactly how I was trying to.
Yo, look, Chuck, I done had that conversation 100
You
times.
be like, fuck, like, are you fucking listening?
But once I see it get there, I shut down and I be like, look, you got it. Say what you gotta say. At this point, anything I say, it don't even matter because you got your mind made up.
Where can we find your merchandise? Like I've seen like the Trap Poetry shirts and things like that. I know that we can go on iTunes, but where can we order shirts from and things like that?
All right, so right now, everything just a jug off my Instagram.
Okay.
But right now, like if you type in MacCaponePoetry.com, you know what I'm saying, like my website that I'm working on and building up pop up.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying, everything just right now on off the muscle. You feel what I'm saying? I'm actually about to drop some merchandise in the next probably like 3 weeks. And
Yeah, because now everything is...
Right. And a lot of people actually been asking me for it and waiting on it. And usually when I do drop merchandise, it don't last past a week.
Yeah, because it's tight.
Right. So, you know, like, right now you just gotta follow me on Instagram. Feel me?
And be on the lookout for it.
Exactly.
And now it'll pop up right here.
Right.
Most people think poetry, they think love, they think spirituality, and the main thing, sex. Sex sells. So, do you have like a marketing managing team, or do people ever tell you, oh, you should take more pictures with like your shirt off and shit like that so you can sell more? How do you feel about that?
So I got two answers to that.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have a manager.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? A lot of people slide in my DMs and ask for stuff free because they feel as though I'm gonna come up, or you know what I'm saying, they just want stuff free because they don't have the budget for it. You know what I'm saying? I just finesse that to where it's, look, as long as I can bring my merchandise, I'm gonna make my money back regardless.
Yeah.
That's only if I know you. If I don't know you, I got a fee. You feel what I'm saying? But as far as the whole, sex symbol thing, I've been asked to come to a hotel full of women and do poetry with my shirt off and strip at the same time. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't there.
It's gonna be a whole bunch of big girls there.
Man, look, wouldn't matter if it was a whole lot of,
And I love big girls.
It wouldn't matter if it was like a different vibes in it. Like I'm not really with none of that.
Selling your skin.
Yeah, just to promote my poetry.
Yeah, but I was wondering that. I was like, people just assume that women are going to do it. So I was like, well, this is a male who's selling, kind of the same image to a certain extent. Do you get pressed out?
I've been invited to like bridal parties. Yeah, like. I'm tatted. I got a beard. I got a fade. I'm light skinned or brown skinned.
Depending on your preference.
Yeah, depending on your preference. And I definitely done been asked to do like certain favors,
Creep shit.
Definitely. And look, they done threw a bag at me before. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like, nah, that ain't me. You feel what I'm saying? So.
Are you currently in a relationship right now?
I'm involved. Like. I'm unavailable. You feel what I'm saying? But that's by choice. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna say I'm not in a relationship. I'm not gonna say I am in a relationship. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you know me, you know my circumstance. You feel what I'm saying? But
and if you don't mind your business,
I'm big on minding your business. You feel what I'm saying? Because I definitely mind mine. You feel what I'm saying? So but that's not an open door for, oh, well, you know what I'm saying, he got a girl, he not trying to say it. It's just like, man, look, it ain't for everybody. So, yeah.
So you basically just chilling and focus on your grind.
That's it, that's all. You feel what I'm saying? If somebody get in my way or somebody catch my attention, you know what I'm saying, then I deal with it accordingly. You feel me? But, yeah, I mind my business. That's it.
What are some of your long-term goals or some of the things that you prosper to do?
Well, of course, I want to create wealth through my passion. But, I want to create an avenue for, like my sons to be able to benefit off of, what they father do. Like it's cool if my son's going to school and parents coming to pick up their kids like, oh, I know your daddy and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? With me, it's about generational wealth. So I want to be able to like put my passion into, you know what I'm saying, like how I create and make my money. You know what I'm saying? And I want my family and my children to be able to see that and be like, oh, I mean, again, this is possible. So,
yeah, definitely. So I know sometimes we are so focused on our dreams that we wish that not so much as something is given to us overnight, but that we can jump right into what we love so we can stop doing the shit we have to do to get to what we love.
Right.
So meantime, when like you're funding and working, what are still some of the things that you're doing to fund your brand?
I'm doing a lot of things. Like I got a lot of side hustles. I got a 9 to 5. You feel what I'm saying? But all that is solely to invest into my poetry. Because at the end of the day, like I want to be able to. It's poets, it's artists. You know what I'm saying? In the poetry world, making $100,000 a year. You feel what I'm saying? Easy, and all they doing is performing 24/7. So you know, like when it comes to like building your brand and having your own business, it all comes into like investing in yourself. So I had went to business school for a year. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned a lot, but a lot I already knew because, you know what I'm saying, like the streets.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like certain dudes I hung around, you know what I'm saying? Certain places that I was. So, you know what I'm saying? I just combined the two, and at the end of the day, like it just worked. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about, you know, I just take the positive stuff and I just invest it into, you know, my future stuff. Even the negative stuff. Everything gets invested. Everything.
Definitely. Because definitely, if you take the negativity and focus that shit into work, into what you're passionate about, you can do so much shit, man. I swear to God. That's this.
Nah, for
That's
real.
this, for real. Like, this is my outlet. And then with you doing what you do, like, you speaking. You know what I mean? Like, words are powerful.
Nah, for real. For real. I mean, it just, words hit different. You know what I'm saying? When you just hear somebody actually being able to relate to your circumstances, you like, man, I don't even know this person. I know I'm not the only person that's going through this. So it's like, all right, man, maybe I need to listen to this person and see how they got through.
Yeah, because poetry is music, is advice, it's so many different things. It's just not music.
Yeah, I mean, like, my definition of poetry is like, it's a love language. It's the love language. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Love can be spreaded into relationships, friendships, injustices, anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the number one love language. And you know what I'm saying? Like, people can relate to me based off of what I'm talking through my poetry.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
They can find love through that.
Definitely. How do you weed out I kind of already asked you that. Weed out like the fake shit, like the people who truly want to support Matt Capone and the people that just want to be like in the back, like I'm with Matt.
Easy. Easy. I don't deal with them. You know what I'm saying? I see it from afar. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, I'm real big on like playing chess in real life rather than on the board. You know what I'm saying? So like I set people up sometimes to see, you know what I'm saying, like what they gonna do. I ask people certain questions to see where they at mentally. And it's like, you know, answer a question wrong, it's like, I know where you at. It ain't even about like, oh, well, they might answer the question wrong, but it's about, you know what I'm saying, your mental.
Yeah.
And if you're not on the same page that I'm on, like, that's it.
Ain't no point.
Like, if I'm over here and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm over here, but like, hey, I'll come over there. You already over there, stay over there. Stay over there.
And with all the bullshit that's with you.
Yeah, stay over there. And it ain't no problems, it ain't no beef, it's just stay over there. Say I'm real black and white, no gray area. You know what I'm saying? If you catch a gray area, it's because I'm dealing with you with business. You know what I'm saying? I understand, like in business, sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you gotta brush shoulders with people that you don't really want to brush shoulders with. But in order to get to where you're trying to go, it's like, you know what? I'm not gonna settle for this, but I'm gonna deal with it just enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna get through it and get to where I need to be.
And you know what I'm saying? It ain't about being fake. That's just business. That's
yeah,
just, you know
definitely.
What I'm saying?
You
Entertainment.
gotta humble yourself.
Yeah, facts. You got, you know what I'm saying? You definitely
You be
gotta
like,
humble
hey, you just did this motherfucker.
Exactly.
After this,
exactly.
I got that notch in my belt and I can
Exactly.
keep it moving.
Exactly.
I only gotta deal with you no more after this.
Facts.
No bullshit.
And that's where networking come into play.
Yeah, because I be humble as fucking pie, I swear.
Facts. And I'm not really big on talking to people that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But if you catch me at an event, I'm around introducing myself to everybody because I understand, like, I'm a brand. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, it's not about creating an illusion, but I got to understand that, like, hey, I'm trying to get to here. So if I need to do this, or if I need to do that to get to here, then cool. And I'm going to make sure that you understand, like, hey, Matt Capone is not Matthew. You feel what I'm saying? But right now, while Matt Capone is present, what's up?
But is there anything on your mind or anything that's like fucking with you right now? Like, as far as social media, as far as the internet, poetry, music, anything that's like rubbing you wrong?
Social media definitely rubbing me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand, like, it's a lot of prevalent things in the world going on that, you know, needs a lot of attention. But I believe in balance as well. You feel me? Like, yeah, you know, with the COVID and the Black Lives Matter and the social injustices going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes, like, you need to step back and a break. And when I say break, I don't necessarily mean like a break from trying to get the job done. But it's like when Kobe died. When Kobe died, that first day that he died, you didn't see nothing on Instagram but that.
Yeah.
So unless you was trying to be heartbroken, you should have stayed off social media.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like now, you know, when I look at social media, the whole dynamic of social media is like changing and shifting. And it's okay that it's changing and shifting. But I feel like a lot of people's intentions aren't there. You feel what I'm saying? Because, like, I went down to the protest when it was turned. Like, you know what I'm saying? Front line. You feel what I'm saying? And I went down there after when people treated it like it was a function.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, like, you know, paying attention to social media, all I'm saying is, like, police brutality. You know what I'm saying? Like, people getting killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff that's been going on, but now it's been recorded.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying, like seeing somebody killed, whether it's on social media or up close and personal, that'll do something to your mental.
Yeah, definitely.
You feel me? So, you know, that's social media is definitely like a big thing, and that's why like I step back from it, even though I'm dropping something, you know, soon. Whether it's contrary to what's going on or just contrary to what I see on a consistent basis. Social media definitely, like, you know, you gotta take a step back from it because social media is bigger than what a lot of people think it is.
People take it personal, people take it to heart.
Yeah, exactly.
And everybody's trying to stay relevant but doing the same shit. And as far as business oriented, that's fine. Everybody can do the same shit because it's enough people out here, it's enough money for everybody. That's fine. But as far as doing the same shit, as far as the same TikToks, the same style, the same friends, the same liquor.
And draining.
That shit is crazy. You showing the same weed in the same Ziploc bag. You bringing the same bell on top of the same bottle. That shit nasty too. That shit is nasty. That liquor is fucking nasty. Like, y'all really paying for an image.
Hey, that's it. They paying for the name. They paying for the name.
Like, the bitches in these swipe ups. Yeah, I'm like, get your money on one hand. But on the other hand, I'm like, if y'all think that these strip clubs gonna jump when they open back up, you bitches is ruining it. Like, niggas are seeing your butthole on everything on the swipe up.
Let me tell you one thing about swipe ups. Swipe ups, I don't even touch swipe ups. It don't matter what it is because I automatically think as soon as I swipe up, it's gonna be a scam. It's gonna be able to get in my phone, you know what I'm saying, and see all my account information. Now, let me tell you this. I am gonna keep it 100. I have like recently tapped into one person's OnlyFans. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like I was intrigued. Like I kind of know the person. You feel me? And you know what I'm saying? Like that ain't even my style. Like I don't see it and be like, oh yeah, dang. Oh yeah, you know, let me just like catch a vibe right quick.
But you intrigued by this person.
I'm intrigued. I'm just being nosy.
Yeah.
I'm just nosy. Like, hey, look, you look good. You know what I'm saying? I kind of know you in person, so what you got going on outside of this?
Yeah.
That's it. Like, it ain't nothing.
I mean,
like,
that's a given. I mean, I would be
it.
curious. That's just like me and you went to elementary school together. If we could see Mr. Nance fuck the cafeteria lady,
facts.
I'm gonna click it.
I
I want to see if he going. You know what I'm saying?
I'm paying for it.
I'll pay for that. Like, I would want to see the librarian bang Mr. Brooks.
I'm
like,
definitely paying for it.
It's like, it's the thought.
Exactly.
But like, far as like a bitch who half naked all the time on her page, I know what a nipple look like. Like
OnlyFans, it ain't gonna take me there. It ain't gonna turn me on or nothing like that.
Like,
it's just I'm being nosy.
That's the only way. That's like, I totally agree with that. If I know that person, that's the only way. But it would have to be somebody from a weird standpoint.
Nah, facts.
Yeah,
like
you know
if I don't know you, I don't care.
Yeah.
I could go to a website for that.
Exactly.
But if I know you, it's like, oh, I'm trying to see what's
it's
going
like
on.
the lady that worked next door was on OnlyFans. I'd be like, let me see what her old ass doing.
Yeah, facts.
Definitely. How do you feel about the music nowadays? Because when you first started out, before you transitioned into poetry, you were doing music. Do you think that you would be one of these mumble gimmicky?
No. I don't feel like I fit in. Like, I feel like a lot of music nowadays don't have substance. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like people don't pay attention to the lyrics. Like, when rap first started, everybody paid attention to the DJ. It was like, oh, who the DJ on it? You know what I'm saying? Then it transitioned to, oh, who's the rap on it? And now it's going to, oh, the producer on it made this beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of dudes, they not talking about nothing. So, like, I'm real big on, you know what I'm saying, lyricists and, you know what I'm saying, talking about stuff, because if you're not talking about nothing, the youth is listening to what you're saying. You feel what I'm saying? And if they listening to what you're saying, you're not talking about nothing, they ain't going to incorporate that in their life. Definitely. So, you know, I think a lot of times, like, especially now, it's about beats. You feel me? And I wouldn't fit in, because I'm going to be talking about something and I'm going to have a certain audience and a certain crowd. You feel what I'm saying? Which is cool. Yeah. Which is cool.
All the good lyricists get backburnered. J. Cole, Kendrick, Currency. You kind of put them, like Young Roddy, you put them in the background because they're not talking. Yeah, they talk about they whip, they bitch. Not so much as my chain. Right. But they touch on those same things. They just delivering it different.
Yeah,
but
facts.
Nowadays, like the generation after us, and even some of our people that don't grow up, right, they want that rah, 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 jump up and down, men with purses type of music. And nobody, like, grown motherfuckers don't want to hear that shit.
Never
it's
see me
cool
with
in
a
the
purse,
club.
You won't never see me
with no merce.
Never see me with a purse, a merce, whatever you want to call it. Never.
But you going to have your lyrics and your...
Never. and you won't see nobody around me with it, because if they're around me and they got it on, I ain't messing with them. I deal with men, and that's it.
What would you say are some words to inspire? Like, if you had to leave somebody who's on the path of trying to become who they need to be, what's something you would leave with them as inspiration?
Don't stop. Don't stop. Like, it don't matter how, it don't matter if you're not motivated. It don't matter what you got going on in your life. Turn your negatives into positives. Know that if you think positive, positivity will happen. So it's like, you know what I'm saying, I tell anybody don't stop. Because even now, you know what I'm saying, going through this pandemic and everything that's going on, it's like, sometimes I be wanting to just delete all my social medias and like, but I understand since I started something, I gotta finish it.
Yeah, and people look for that.
Exactly, and it's a lot of people, like, whether it's in my DMs or on my Facebook messages, and they're like, hey, when the next time you dropping this? Look, I got, you know what I'm saying, a few good men, you know what I'm saying, not even women, men in my DMs like, bruh, we need to hear your voice. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, because you definitely have a different message.
Yeah, don't stop.
Who would you say is your biggest inspiration as far as poetry or writing?
So, and I definitely want you to be able to, like, put this in a one message. Okay. It's a dude named Obi West. And, like, he just different. He's just different. Like, he's just different. It's like, he speaks on things and he creates the solution outside of his typical everyday life thing. So he definitely one of them type of people that like challenge you. Definitely. And my God, you know what I'm saying? Warville the poet. Y'all search him on Instagram at Orville the Poet. Definitely somebody like that's been a mentor. Somebody, you know, when I first started spoken word, I definitely went to the questions and answers. You know, he kind of like showed me how to move. You know what I'm saying? A room full of vultures, like for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out Orville, shout out Obi West, and like shout out all the other, you know what I'm saying, like artists that I got relationships with. But definitely them too. Definitely.
What would you say is your favorite poem in general?
So it's crazy because I just had this conversation with somebody. Alright, so my favorite poem and my best poem is two different things.
Okay.
All
So
right.
your favorite poem and your best poem.
So I feel like my best poem it's a poem on my page. It's called Who Am I? Basically, it was a Who Am I challenge. And basically, it's like my truth. Like me being unapologetically me through my poetry, talking about, you know, everything that I've came from and the type of person that I've been in relationship-wise. So it's the Who Am I challenge, and you can hashtag Who Am I challenge, and it's guaranteed I'm gonna pop up. My favorite poem would be my Friends with Benefits poem, and it's like friends with benefits are very prevalent among millennials. You know what I'm saying? Whether people scared of love, whether people don't know how to love, you know what I'm saying? Like, we try to deter from our reality through, you know, we can be cool, we can do this. Which I feel like is actually cool, but it's about being honest with yourself and not changing up later on.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
sticking to your word.
I think my best poem is the Who Am I challenge poem, but my favorite poem is the Friends with Benefits.
As far as another artist, who is your favorite? What's one of your favorite books? Poetry books?
Tupac got a book. You feel what I'm saying? Tupac got a book out there I definitely read. That I definitely
The Concrete
appreciate.
Rose?
Concrete Rose. Definitely appreciate. But if we want to talk about like my favorite artist as far as the poetry goes ever, DMX.
DMX. He got some shit. And I wasn't expecting you to say that, but I know because being a true fan of different things, he do got some shit.
Yeah, DMX is like unmatched. His passion and everything, like he's unmatched when it comes to poetry.
Would you ever, I know that you say that you don't mesh with the new sound of music, but would you ever get back into doing music?
So, that's definitely one of the questions. Like, alright, so look, so my whole angle with poetry was when I came home, I didn't want to take the same route as everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was on music. And I feel like when it comes to music, when it comes to rap, when it comes to being a lyricist, I'm better than a lot of people. But me coming home from being incarcerated and doing time, I feel like it was typical for me to come home.
It sounds
and
typical.
rap.
Just came home, now I rap.
Just rap. You feel what I'm saying? Even though a lot of people knew me for, oh yeah, he can rap. Like, it's typical. So I wanted to create my own lane. So, you know, my transition is definitely music, but everything's about time. So I'm real big on, you know what I'm saying, calculating.
Yeah, you can see your growth and how much you changed from when you went in to when you came home, and how you were writing raps to writing poetry, how it all transitioned and came together. So you see the growth. So
Facts. I mean, look, it's actually a video that I had put in my archive that, you know what I'm saying, like, because I wanted people to know that, like, I still got it as far as like, rapping and stuff like that. And like I had posted it, and I did like a couple numbers. I just archived it because my Instagram is for poetry content and it's poetry based. But I just wanted to let people know, like, I still
got it.
Look, make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at Matt___. That's 3 underscores. Capone, CAPONE. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely appreciate you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
It definitely didn't go unnoticed. And I'm humbled by you even wanting to like, know about what I got going.
Yeah, because I definitely did my research and I see your message and what you're doing, and you're doing it in a whole different way. And I know your story, so it's a lot, way more different than the typical young man that's out here trying to leave a mark. So that's why I'm very particular about who I bring. I'm honored that you even came. So when he gets on, ladies and gentlemen, because I know he will.
Right here.
He was here first.
Right here.
Love who you love and be who you are. Remember that your words can hurt, so use them wisely. Thank you for tuning into the Darkest Hour. Good night.